Today we have 4 participants to present their papers. So before letting the presenters present, I would like to give you some instructions. So each presenter will be given 10 to 12 minutes for presentation. And after that, there will be a question answer session. And if you have a PPT, make sure that you share your screen. So now I will read out the order of the presenters. The first presenter's name is Anjali M. Machi. Second presenter is R. Saktivel. And third, Dr. Usha Vikram Kaushik and Dr. Ankita Ben Anil Kumar Desai. And finally, T. Thamarai Yalini. So without any further ado, let's begin the session. I hand over the session to Anjali M. Machi. I invite Anjali M. Machi, PhD research scholar at Sabarmati University and Assistant Professor, Department of English, Parul University, Gujarat, to present the paper titled Qualities of Courage and Power in the Character of Ahalya from Indian Mythology, with reference to Ahalya's Awakening by Kavita Kane. Welcome you. I think the first presenter is yet to arrive. So now we shall pass on to the second presenter, R. Saktivel, research scholar, PhD and Research Department of English, Vivekananda College of Arts and Sciences for Women, to present the paper titled A Critical Exploration of Vikram Seth's The Golden Gate.
Yes, good evening. Good evening to one and all present here. My name is R. Saktivel. I am a research scholar from Vivekananda College of Arts and Sciences for Women. My topic is a critical exploration of Vikram Seth's The Golden Gate. A critical exploration of Vikram Seth's Golden Gate, it's tell about it is a poetry form of sonnets. Its situation at for San Francisco. The novels of Vikram Seth deal with diverse kinds of themes of contemporary period, such as love, sexuality, politics, and class, and communal tension, and his works touched upon various cultural backgrounds, which are unique of his writings. His writings unpack family relationship, pain, sorrows, despair, reminiscence, and other myriad emotions. Seth is The Golden Gate set in San Francisco. Is a contemporary love subject and revolves around 6 people. This novel is written in sonnet form and depicts their everyday struggles, lives, and lamentation. This article explores critically how he satirized the romance in the perspective of novel of manners as poetry of manners. And also it analyzes the institution family in Vikram Seth's The Golden Gate. Vikram Seth's The Golden Gate was inspired by the famous Charles Johnson's English translation of the Russian masterpiece Eugene Onegin, written by Pushkin in the early 19th century. Pushkin was influenced 18th century satirical poem by Byron and Goethe. He tried to create possible sonnet forms in poetry, sarcastic comments in spoken Russian aristocratic society of modern Russia. Eugene Onegin, Full Hay, the hero of Pushkin's novel, who speaks sharply biting jokes and satire about his career, visitors in life and love at the same time. The aristocratic Russian environment of that time However, The Golden Gate is modeled after an old satirical novel, Poetry of Manners. Many of the floating futures described the above shows the essential features of colloquialism, but now something that is somehow stepped in sentimentality and begins as a kind of satire sentimentality twist. The novel was correctly called a sentimental novel of critical opinion. Seth is satires romance and romantic relationships. Sonnets are commonly associated with emotions of romantic passion, but Seth seems to mock passion romantic feelings are already the main theme of his novel's romantic relationship. They are perceived as illusory and short-lived. Phil's relationship with his ex-wife Clary looks happy time consuming, but Seth hints through a short-lived romantic relationships of his novels that erotic the romantic is often fleeting. The ring that wrapped her finger was like the love that wrapped her life. Phil says it's made of soft gold, not steel. No wonder. Then it didn't last long. But Seth gives us a clue to explain why relationship didn't work. It was not based on strong family network. Clara Cabot is rich and wealthy. She married Philip West, who was lower class than her. She frowned on her family. They cut off their friendship and agreed to protect with all your passion. Passion is thus seen as a force that acts even destructively. No wonder Phil says, passion is also for play catastrophe. Seth seems to indicate it's a friendship of equals and affection may prove to be more lasting. John later, his relationship with Janet proves this. Their love is based on mutual respect, affection, and interest, but death ends this relationship. Romantic relationship come to the fore and satirize novels John and Liz. Tale narrator is compassionate and forgiving, he is ironic in her tone to the hero of her love that befalls her. There is the blindness and lack of clarity of their love that heralds impermanence. First of all, it is chance and chance that unites them, their meeting, advertising result her. Immediate and intense attraction physical to each other. But when passionate saturates, it makes a difference her conservative, intolerant, and tolerant John. Liz is pet, her food, her political position, and the nuclear non-proliferation march as her support for her brother is homosexuality quickly falls out of favor with Liz. I adore you. So, romantic passion cannot sustain a relationship because it is selfish and demanding. Must be related respect, affection, and duty become stronger at the center of life and lasting bond, mutual, affectionate relationship and respect, which is rooted in the larger family and social ties more likely to survive the only romance in the novel. Phil and Liz's marriage is very important because it is based on family and relationship. Their views and opinion are similar. It is respect, affection that shows feelings for each other, not passion. Phil also admits to Liz. Seth is deeply anti-romantic demeanor matches the novel manners that objectively capture social customs and institutions. His love for his family is part of those concerns. Several studies provide an excellent analysis by Seth. Commitment to the family as a social entity, this aspect is widespread influenced all his novels, especially his choice of heroine, do it on both a suitable boy and equal music. Seth introduces two types of his family in this novel. The Golden Gate, traditional biological families, such as Draties, a strong bond of love strengthened by a close connection with nature. Michael Dorothy is a farmer. His wife longs for his children to get married and join a family. Her life is tied up in an idyllic cycle of growth and regeneration. Another kind of family is imagined through the bonds of friendship, brotherhood, and fellowship. Phil and his circle of friends had fun. Mrs. Craven and her murdered daughters, Matt and John Lamont, and others fall into this category. This type of family is the contemporary situation of fragmented social units in big cities. Such families are dispersed. Yet their members enjoy social fixation. It is possible on a family basis. Activities at Dorothy Weiner Grab pressing are similar to olive harvesting and pickling filth. Chuck was raised by his father's friends. Phil and Mrs. Craven offers motherhood to both Chuck and Paul finished extension. Phil and his activities, the great human family and their campaign is to save them from nuclear power catastrophe, the inevitable loneliness of the individual standing figures of John and Phil, who symbolize the modern metropolitan world for the humanistic conception of community as a family. Ultimately, the five main characters are ambiguous gifts from spouses, children, pets, togetherness, or left alone. Unloved according to loyalty to family, values their adaptability and the ability to take responsibility yourself and others. Phil and Liz are the clear winners of their marriage to different types of families also come together. And this is evident by looking at the hybrids. The immigrant poor Janet was killed. Stubborn John could only be taught by death. But even with John mourning, some redemption is possible there. Janet's knowledge of love and friendship expanded to include Phil and Liz, potential godfather your baby. Babies and children are just as important to Seth as his counterparts, as a novel reveals he rewards his misguided character with some association with family is important. Now, finally, he told us, but family is important, sometimes deeply suffocating and full of human error close range. Possessiveness, meanness, callousness, the list is endless. It inevitably lead to these emotions and untruthful explanation. The complexity of this human world. This is my topic, a critical exploration of Vikram Sethi's The Golden Gate. Thank you.
Okay, sir, that was a very good presentation. You presented the points and you supported your ideas with your instances from the novel, but it's just a simple analysis. But I would suggest you to refer to various critics, various theories like psychological theories, because it's about, the novel is about human relations, familial bonds, everything. So it would be better if you could borrow some ideas from various critics like Carl Jung and all other psychoanalytic critics. If you could see it from that perspective and add points to your opinion, add points from them, it would be helpful in supporting your ideas even better. So that would be my suggestion for improving this paper. So, so now we'll move on to the next presenter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Dr. Usha Vikram Kaushik, Associate Professor, VM Patel College of Management Studies, Ganpat University, Gujarat, and Dr. Ankita Ben Anil Kumar Desai, Assistant Professor, MN College, Visnagar, Gujarat. They are going to present the paper on cultural variation in Paulo Coelho's novels. I invite you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good evening to all. I am Dr. Ankita Desai, and Dr. Usha Kaushik is the co-author, and on behalf of her, I am going to present. So I'm going to share my screen. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, Ankita.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So today I'm going to present a paper on cultural variation in Paulo Coelho's novel. Paulo Coelho is a Brazilian novelist. He is best known for his inspirational and spiritual...
Just a minute. Excuse me, Ankita. The presentation is not visible. Screen is visible. So
Okay.
open that PowerPoint presentation.
It is open, ma'am.
No, it is not visible to us. Shall I present the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, just a minute. You stop presenting.
Okay, ma'am.
Just a minute. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Shall I continue, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Cultural variation in Paulo Coelho's novel. Paulo Coelho is a Brazilian novelist. He is best known for his inspirational and spiritual writings. The Alchemist, 1988. It is the most popular novel of Coelho. It is widely translated novel of the world. In his novels, he discusses the importance of religion. He also shares his spiritual experiences in his novels. Apart from religion, cultural variation is an important aspect of Coelho's novels. The present paper is an attempt to study the cultural variation in Coelho's novels. It focuses on the depiction of diverse cultures of the world and their relation to each other. Coelho has tried to show the multicultural society through his characters. In his novels, people from different parts of the world come and live together and share their cultural values. He has skillfully described the customs and tradition of various cultures in his novels such as The Pilgrimage, The Alchemist, By the River Pedra, I Sat Down and Wept, The Fifth Mountain, and 11 Minutes. Introduction. Paulo Coelho was born in Brazil in 1947. He has received numerous international awards such as World Economic Forum Crystal Award in 1999 and the Honorable Award of the President of the Republic in May 2006. He has written numerous books like Hell Archives, The Pilgrimage, The Alchemist, Brida, The Valkyries, Maktub, By the River Pedra, I Sat Down and Wept, The Fifth Mountain, The Manual of the Warrior of the Light, Veronica Decides to Die, The Devil and Miss Prim, 11 Minutes, The Zahir, Like the Flowing River, The Witch of Portobello, The Winner Stands Alone, Elf, Manuscript Found in Accra, Idolatry, The Spy, and Hippie. Coelho's novels have strong universal themes. Most of his works deal with the themes of love, spirituality, dreams, and the fight between good and evil. In most of the novels of Coelho, his protagonists displace from one place to another or from their motherland to foreign land. The term displacement itself refers to cultural divergence. Coelho shows different cultures of the world through the displacement of his protagonist. So now we are talking about cultural variation. So before moving towards cultural variation, we need to understand what is culture. The word culture has been derived from the Latin term cult or cults, meaning tealing or refining. So when we talk about culture, so religion, food, what we eat, what we wear, our traditions, language, art, beliefs, etc. can be included in culture. Basically, it defines the particular group of people and it is the essence of society. So when a person moves to another place, or we can say to another land or foreign country, he or she does not move alone. They also carry their culture with them. They try to preserve it even on the foreign land. They also try to pass it to their future generations. They also try to adjust with the group of people whose culture is different. So how cultural variation is there in Paulo Coelho's novels? So transnationalism is there in the novels of Coelho. As in most of the novels of Coelho, his protagonists migrate to foreign land either willingly or forcefully. The Alchemist, which is the best-selling novel of Coelho, tells the tale of a boy, Santiago, who moves from Andalusia to Egyptian pyramids to pursue his dreams. On his way to Egyptian pyramids, he comes in the contact of different people. His journey from Europe to the Egyptian pyramids comprises of different geographical locations such as Europe, Al-Faim, Oasis, and the Sahara Desert. His choice to work in the shop of crystal merchant at Tangier shows his acceptance of African culture. Coelho shows cultural assimilation is the only option for survival in this novel. Coelho has tried to show the glimpse of the Arabic culture in The Alchemist during the stay of Santiago at Al-Faim Oasis. He also tries to depict the Arabic culture through the relation of Santiago and Fatima. Fatima, she is the perfect example of the woman of desert because she believes that the men who left the women of desert, they never come back. So this is the kind of belief which she receives, or we can say which she perceives from her culture, and she is the one who presents the culture of desert in this novel. Arabic language is there. There are some words from Arabic language in this novel, such as maktub. The second novel, or this is the first novel of Paulo Coelho, and it is an autobiographical novel of Coelho in which he depicts the journey of himself to Santiago de Compostela. And this novel narrates the 700 kilometers journey of Coelho. Coelho is accompanied by his guide Petrus, who is from another country. So in the opening of the novel, or we can say that in the starting period of their journey, they spend first few days to know each other because they both are from different countries. So they share their cultural values with each other. And yes, it is a spiritual journey in which Coelho received spiritual experiences, and he talked about his religious and spiritual experiences in this novel. But along with religious exercise, Coelho learns about new culture. Paulo and Petrus, they stop at certain locations and informs the readers about the legend, myth, which is related to that particular location or particular place. This novel also shows Coelho's cultural and religious assimilations. This journey made him acquainted with the different cultures and motivated him to learn and travel. And yes, in one of Coelho's interview, he himself asserts that I am a writer. So I am not. It means my writing should not be limited to only one village. He states that yes, I am from particular country, or I am from particular city, but it doesn't mean that my ideas, my imagination is limited. Okay, so this interview or this statement of Coelho shows that he is the supporter of multiculturalism. In The Fifth Mountain, Coelho shows through the struggle of Eliza that cultural assimilation is important for survival in foreign land. Then Coelho's 11 Minutes is the journey of a Brazilian young woman to Switzerland. And this novel beautifully narrates the struggle of a young woman from the countryside of Brazil to Rio de Janeiro and then to Geneva, Switzerland to pursue her dreams. So Coelho shows the effects of culture on the goals and dreams of individual. He also shows the world of prostitution, which is entirely different from his other novels, and also the pain of prostitute through the character of Maria. Conclusion: Coelho's characters are universal. His characters are shepherd, priest, prostitute, and common man. Because he believes in multiculturalism, so he received values from every religion and shared it with his readers too. He likes to learn things from the other cultures, so his characters are the lifelong learners who travel, learn, and assimilate with the new culture. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, that was a good presentation. You highlighted that Paulo Coelho's novels talk about the spirituality and the spirituality of the people of various cultures who converge in the area. So my question to you is, could you connect the spiritual ideas of Paulo Coelho to that of Indian spiritual values? Do you find any connections between his ideas and Indian spiritual ideas?
Yes, ma'am. There is definitely connection between the spiritual ideas of Paulo Coelho and Indian spiritual ideas, because Coelho is the author who does not advocate yes, he believes in religious practices, but he is not kind of a person who believes in rituals, okay, or who advocated the practices of rituals strictly. In the same way, in Indian system, okay, or in Indian spiritual system, yes, we believe in religious practices, but there is no kind of it means it is not compulsion to us that we have to do this. Okay, so in this way, I can connect Coelho's ideas or spiritual ideas with Indian spiritual ideas. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, thank you. That was a nice presentation. So before moving on to the next presenter, I would like to inform you that once all the 4 participants are done with their presentations, the floor will be open for questions from the audience, from the all other participants. So I request all of you to remain here. So now we'll move on to the next presenter. I invite T. Thamarai Yalini, research scholar, Fatima College, Madurai, to present the paper titled Sewing Cultural Fissures with Memory, Mahashweta Devi's Mother of 1084.
Yes, ma'am, just a minute. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, Chief Person and my fellow presenters. I am Thamarai Yarini. I'm a research scholar of Fatima College, Madurai Kamraj University. And here I am to present my paper titled Sewing Cultural Fissures with Memory on Mahashweta Devi's Mother of 1084. So the ultimate aim of this paper is to analyze MD's Mother of 1084 as a work of art that centers memory as a prominent element. This article is an attempt to discuss the role of memories, how memories play a vital role in the artistic reconstruction of the historical events and their impact on the characters. So my paper focuses on the works of Mahashweta Devi with emphasis on Mother of 1084 and memory. Memory is a part of memory studies, then the cultural fissures and the analysis. So coming to MD Mahashweta Devi, we all know about her. She is the most prolific Indian writer and she serves as an instrument to voice for the voiceless. And she intersects vital contemporary questions of politics, gender, and class. And Mother of 1084 is not an exception for her intersection. And here you see the map of Mother of 1084. It was first published in Marathi in the year 1973 under the name Hajar Churasima, and it was later translated and published in English in the year 1997. And when you see the background of this novel deals about the Naxalite movement. And though we all are very familiar with the Naxalite...
Excuse me, your voice is not very loud enough.
Audible?
Can you just... yeah.
Okay.
It's quite breaking.
I'm
so
audible.
Yeah, you can go on.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So here you see the timeline of Mother of 1084. It was published in the year 1973 and later translated into English and was published in the year 1997. And here you see the Naxalite movement as the background. And though we all are familiar with the Naxalite movement being involved in this plot, MD is very creative and she is very poignant that she does not apparently reveal the Naxalite movement, and you will not find the contemporaries of the Naxalite movement in the novel. And I consider that as the very highlighting factor of this novel. And the very nomenclature of the novel, Mother of 1084. And this nomenclature with the numerical value emphasize on the non-existence of human beings. And human beings will all be named with names. And here you find that it's nomenclated with a number, and that itself shows the cultural fissure. So the plot of Mother of 1084, it revolves around Sujata and Somu's mother, and Sujata is the mother of Brati. So here you find in this novel, Brati, Somu and Co. and loses their life in the then powerful movement, Naxalite movement, and importance is given only to Brati and not to Somu and the other members of the crew. And this itself shows that how the cultural variations plays a vital role in erasing the history. And there's no whereabouts of the other people. At least Somu is mentioned by name and not the other characters. And also you see the protagonist Sujata, though the protagonist of MD's novel is Sujata, she is showed as a subservient, silent, faithful, and her existence is very shadowy. So here you find the plot line where Brati is a well-educated son of an elite family, and he is an active urban youth. It is to be noted that he is an urban youth who fought for the wellness of the rural people. And he loses his life in the mission to safeguard his friends. And Brati's death is mourned only by her mother and not by any other family members, as his pompous family member is very keen on hiding his death, because they consider that a news that would say that Brati was dead in the Naxalite movement would bring defame to the family. And Sujata, the mother of Brati, though she is educated and she is financially independent, she is seldom cared by the family, and she is not empathized with by the family members on the death of Brati. And to be highlighted here, none of the family member focus on the funerals of Brati, and his body is not dealt with. He is not considered as a human at all, only because that he would bring defame to the family. And here you find the Sujata's journey combating all odds of the society to trace her back to the dead son and his motives. And here you find a list of questions that focus on the cultural fissures found in this novel. And here you find the answers. So why is Brati's death unknown? Just because of that would defame their status in the society. And why is his existence being removed? That's because of class power. And why Somu and the other boys death not detailed? That's the social hierarchy, because Brati is a rich man while Somu and the others are poor people and of lower strata in the society. Their death is being historicized but not being recognized. And here in the fourth, why is Somu's mother and sister not given a name? Because it's caste. So the first important character is Sujata, and second is Somu's mother. The Somu's mother is not given a name just because they belong to a lower class. Just a minute. Am I audible now? Excuse me.
Yeah, we can hear you, but at some points your voice is getting reduced.
Okay, ma'am, I'll see to it. Thank you. So why is Sujata alienated by her family? It's because of gender. And there is a particular instance in the novel where the mother-in-law would substantiate that it is the greatness and generosity of a man to let a woman work. So women, as educated women, Sujata wanted to work and to be financially independent. And here you find that being employed is the generosity of a man. And here you find the gender fissures. So There are four important cultural fissures that are found in the novel. The first deals with the caste. So the distinction between Bharati and the Somu and his co, between Sujata and Somu's mother. And here you have to lay an emphasize, because Sujata's sari, even the sari is to be noticed. Her sari is very iron and it's very neat, it's gorgeous, but not the Somu's mother. Somu's mother owns only one sari, even that is torn. And this lady, Somu's mother, is not given a name, and that really gives a wonder to all the researchers who works on this novel. And also you find the penniless and job deprived Somu's sister versus the fat wedding of Bharati's sister Nipa. And here Somu's sister, though she is educated, she is not given a job just because her brother died in the Naxalite movement. Whereas on the other hand, Nipa, the brother of Bharati, enjoys and celebrates a very fat wedding on the birth anniversary of Bharati. And here you have to know that the caste is the only reason that brings in all these fissures. And moving on to the class fissure, it is to deal with Dibyanan. Dibyanan is the father of Bharati, and here you find he is very much particular about his class status, and as a father, he is not worried about the death of the son. And gender fissure, when you deal with gender fissure, so here women are portrayed as subservient group and their existence is shadowy, and they all meant to be childbearing machines. And when you come to the power fissure, it's Dibyanan's power that made history to rewrite itself. So it is obvious that power can historicize and erase history. So these are the suturing fissures. So when you sew the fissures with culture and memory, memory comes to the aid. So when Sujata's journey, Sujata walks again all the odds of the family and the society to find her son and his ideologies. And it is only through memory that she is able to walk against all these odds. Coming to gratitude of Somu's mother, it's despite losing her own son, Somu's mother is very much grounded, and she thanks Sujata for bearing a very good son. And even in those tough times, she says that Bharati is a very good boy and he has a complexion of a gold. And here you see the purity of Somu's mother. Coming to memory, it is only through memory that all the fissures are bridged. And flashback aids memory. It's a powerful employed by the writer to visit the unnoticed past. So coming to memory studies, the main proponents are Richard Atkinson and Richard Striffen, and they proposed a multi-store model. And this model has 3 states of memory: sensory, short-term, and long-term. And how does it function? It functions by the process that information passes from one stage to the other. And in addition, with the multi-store model, I have also employed all these theories of episodic memory. Episodic memory is a memory of a particular event, and sensory memory, it's of experience. And both these episodic and sensory memory are founded by Endel Tolving. And the fourth main concept of memory is flashback memory, and it was found by Brown and Kulik. And what is flashbulb memory? It's a vivid and highly detailed snapshots created often at the times of shock and trauma. So here, for instance, when you take this novel, you find Sujata, the mother of Bharati, when she's almost worried or when she's stressed down, she would find the visions and she would have this flashback memory of Bharati standing in the staircase, combing his hair, wearing her shirt, ironing her shirt, and these memories pop up. Okay, and this plays an important role in weaving all the cultural fissures. And coming last, it's a weapon effect. Johnson and Scott has founded this theory called weapon effect theory, and it's a picture. It pictures an incident that has happened in a very extreme political situation or harmful time. And this is this weapon effect memory of Somu's father that details how Somu, Bharati, and others were killed in the hut. So cultural fissures, it nullifies the history of Bharati's existence and non-existence. And the concept of memory destabilizes grand narratives of history and power, as Gard Hansen quotes that is memory, remembering, and recording are the very key to the existence, becoming, and belonging. And here you find Sujata's memory is fragmented and is coherent only when associated with multiple mini episodic memories. So the concept of memory, so both Somu's mother and Bharati's mother recall the past and recognize their respective sons in the resituated history of Naxalite movement only through the employment of memories. So recall and recognition are the two important aspects of memory. They constitute the process of formulation and functionalization of memory in creating a history. And here in particular, you take the recalling session and the recognition of Somu's mother and Sujata in the past. It historicizes the existence of Rati and Somu in the erased history. So it is equipped through communication between the other characters, and Nandini plays a vital role in this communicating part. And it is through Nandini that we find that real notions of Rati, what were they. And so Nandini and Somu's mother, the two important characters, they frame in historicizing memory through communicative memory. And Rati's existence and death is revived through the memory and the dreams of the characters. So Mahashweta Devi employs memory as a powerful tool to historicize the past lives of Bharati, through which Bharati is attributed with new characteristics. So Sujata revamps more of Bharati only after his death through the process of memorializing memory. And thank you. That's my presentation. Thank you.
That was a very impressive presentation, ma'am. So my question to you is, Mother of 1084, right? Yeah, it is basically a drama. So when it comes to drama, when we see it as a work of art, we must pay attention to its theatrical techniques, right? So I want you to highlight the theatrical techniques that Mahashweta Devi uses to bring out the cultural fissures and memory. Okay. You can go on.
Ma'am, to be noted, there are both play version and the novel version of the work, Mother of 1084. And here this Mother of 1084 is the novel version. So technically speaking, it's a novel.
All right, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. So that was a really good presentation. So I have read the drama version of the of Mother of 1084, so that's why I asked you that. So I want to answer the question. So in the drama version, Mahashweta Devi divides the stage into two parts. Like in one part, the present events will be happening, and when the memory shifts to the flashback, the first half will be blacked out, and the second half will be lighted, and the events will be dramatized in that area. So so when I read this drama, the dramatic form, when we see it in the dramatic form, it will be more appealing to our feelings. Okay, ma'am. So my suggestion would be like you can refer to the drama version also and add some points to that. And then you highlighted the social problems like caste, class, gender, and power. These are key areas of importance when it comes to cultural studies in India. So these are the need of the hour which have to be addressed. So and in the book, we find a saving face attitude, right? There's a saving face attitude in the high class people. Like they are not ready to face any disgrace. They do not. They find it to be a shame that Bharati has joined the Naxalites and he has been murdered for that. so they have a saving phase. So do you like to comment on that?
Yes, ma'am, that's obvious. Even in today's society, we find the saving nature, saving attitude, where people consider it as a defame when it causes disgrace to their own family. I guess they may even accept the physical loss or something, but not the loss in the society or the status. And it's high time that people should change this attitude. And there are many political events, even when the people of upper class they commit an accident, that accident is being erased in the history. And many other such events, the murder of many people, or being erased. And the educated people should stop changing this attitude and this it's a hypocrisy and it should be changed. I guess
Yes,
only
ma'am.
educated people can plunge into action.
Yes, ma'am. That's a very impressive question, and it is the high class people, educated people uh, in the novel that do this thing. So, and so when the drama version has 12 acts in it, and in the very first or second act itself, we can find that Bhrati's own family members are not ready to take him home and give him a good burial. Only his mother Sujata is even Dibyanath Chatterjee, Bhrati's father. Even he is not ready to take his car to the police station to get his body. So in the drama version, all 12 acts will be very touching to the heart. It will be really moving. So I would suggest you to read that too. And your presentation, it was really scholarly and academic. You had quoted from various critics, and various concepts were there, I could see. And so that was a really nice and impressive presentation. Your PPT also was very impressive. So thank you for presenting that. Okay. So now we'll move on to the next presenter, Anjali M. Machi. Is she here? I hope ma'am has not joined yet. Okay, we shall wait till 6 o'clock. Until then, participants who have questions to the first three presenters may ask your questions to them. So, Mr. Saktivel, are you here? He has left the meeting. So we have had three presenters today are Saktivel, Dr. Usha Vikram Kaushik, and Dr. Ankita Anil Kumar Desai, and finally Tamarai Yalini. Three papers have been presented today in this session.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, sir. So, would you like to comment on the other presenters, sir?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, okay.
Yes.
So, participants, if you have any comments or any questions, you can ask the other participants.
No, ma'am.
So, Saktivel, sir, I made an observation when I was listening to your presentation. You mentioned two types of family, right?
Yes, ma'am.
One is traditional biological family, and the
Yes, ma'am.
other is imagined true bonds of friendship, brotherhood, and love. Right? That's what you mentioned.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, could you highlight the differences between these two? So do you mean that in the second type of families, that there are friendship, brotherhood, and love? Do you mean that in the first type of family, that is traditional families,
Yes, ma'am.
does
First,
the
yes.
first type, does it lack friendship, brotherhood, etc.? If so,
Yes,
why does it? Can you?
ma'am. Because the married couple, ma'am, the lady is a young class family. So man is a poor family. They are not accepted for after the marriage. So that's what the lady leave him. And not only leave for his husband, but child also. So that time he feel alone. The second one lady came his life. So that is the lady also for a middle class family, a poor family. So this is for the two family, ma'am.
All right. So, I observed that your paper can also be viewed from the perspective of gender studies. So
Yes, ma'am.
that could be an additional support to your paper. You can read on that and include points from it. So regarding the second paper on cultural variation by Dr. Usha Vikram Kaushik and Dr. Ankita Ben Anil Kumar Desai. You highlighted the differences between various cultures existing in the same place. Due to globalization, we are facing a mix of cultures in every place. So, do you think that there can be a loss of culture in the future? So, the cultural values that we are upholding today, is it a possibility that those values could be destroyed in the future?
Yes, ma'am. It's a very nice question from your side. Yes, due to globalization and people are migrating or displacing from one place to another for various reasons, for academic or for economic purpose. Yes, the people who migrate to foreign land, okay, the first generation people, they try very hard to preserve their culture. And like in post-colonial studies or the text or theoretical text on post-colonial studies, they also highlighted, for my research I read theorizing diaspora, so I read one paper in that, and so the first generation people try very hard to preserve their culture on foreign land, and in order to pass the cultural values, to their children. Okay, they celebrate Diwali, they celebrate Indian festival. I am talking about the Indian people who migrate to the countries like US, Canada, England. So they try very hard to preserve their culture, and they try to pass their cultural values by celebrating Indian festival, so that they can introduce their native culture to the second generation. But second generation, okay, who is born there, so they have mixed culture, or we can say that they have grown up with the mixed culture. Like they see the Indian culture or the culture of their parents in at home, and the second culture when they go outside of the home, it means schools and colleges. So they have this cultural clash. So it is not necessary, or we cannot say that the second generation will strictly follow the Indian values or Indian culture. They will follow, or they will have the mixed culture. So yes, there in this era of globalization, there is a possibility of loss of culture.
Okay, ma'am, that was a very nice and clear analysis of the present situation. So the last presenter, Tamarai Yalini. So your presentation was on the novel version, and you mentioned about the mini episodic events, right? Could you give me some technical details about the novel, like how many chapters are there in the novel, like how many episodes are given in the novel? It could be better if you could highlight that too.
Sure, ma'am. So in the novel version, you find the chapters, there are almost 7 chapters, and you find that the chapters are named with like morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And when you see this, the plot goes to and fro. And you find Sujata feeling her pregnancy and the delivery pain. And suddenly you will find that that's a dream. And here you find the creativity and master designing of Mahashweta Devi, where she combines all the dream, flashback, memory, and also the episodic structures. Like you said, there are many episodes of memory being intertwined in the plot. And only when you read it closely, you will be able to follow which is the current scenario, which is the current running plot, and which is the memory part. And you find Sujata, as I said, the novel opens with her uh, pain, labor pain. You find her lamenting on her gender. She would feel very bad for the condition, and she cites that there are only 2 times she has fought with her husband. One for not going to bear a child, another child. They already have 4 children. And that's the first time they had a very big fight. And the second fight she had with her husband is to is when she shared her willingness to work. And this memory and this event, it recurs throughout the novel, which emphasize on the gender fissure. And when coming to Brati's session, Brati is only revealed through the memories of other character, especially him. Though she is a labor, she is a household worker there in Brati's house. It is with him, Brati had a very great connection. When all the people of the family, they did not mourn or they did not lament on the death of Brati. It was only Sujata and him being worried about it. And also the memory of Nandini plays a very important role, where the memories and the flashback episodes of Nandini about Brati, only those episodes tells the readers that Brati is not really bad, and they were being betrayed by a fellow member in the Naxalite movement. So it is only through the flashback techniques employed in the novel you get to know more about the Brati. And there's one particular line which I would like to cite. It's there in page number 116. It says, it was a society that gave the dead the right to live and denied it to the living. But what was Balai saying? So here you see the contradictions that's been. The people who really want to live are dead and are being erased from the history, and those who want to revamp this, those who don't want to be here, are living a very great life. And all these fishes are being explicited by the mini episodic structures, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So in the drama version, we find that the white and red colors dominate the screen more times. Okay, and at most part of the drama, the stage is fully dark, right? So that forms a right atmosphere for the tragic events that happen in the play. So all the first to the 12th acts, there's a tension that is developing throughout the course of that story. So while there is an act where the 5 boys are getting murdered, it's a flashback. There the stage lights become red. So the red symbolizes danger. So like that, all the colors are utilized very well. And in the beginning, when Sujata goes to find the body of Bharati, there is white clothes covering their bodies. So all that creates a tragic atmosphere. So all the work of arts that you have chosen, everything speaks the human relationships and human values of the present world, and all these works are very relevant to study the present condition of the society and the culture of the present age. So I appreciate all the 3 papers and the presenters. So we had a very great time of intellectual discourse. I hope all the participants might have gained some idea to improve your academic life in your future. So I wish all the best to all the presenters and all the participants of this event. That's the end of this technical session. Thank you for participating, and I encourage you to attend. Tomorrow also we are having the program, the meeting. There are more technical sessions as well as plenary talks arranged tomorrow. You can also be part of it and gain more from this international webinar. Thank you all.